Welcome back to the Convo Couch, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pasta Jardula.
I'm Fiorella.
And over there we got Johnny Tsunami in the ones and twos.
Awesome, fam.
You don't like that?
In the ones and twos.
Well, that's a whole DJing thing. The guys used to spin the Technique 1200s.
Figured. It was something from back in the day.
Listen, I would not listen to new hip-hop nowadays if it wasn't for Johnny presenting me with certain songs because I don't really like a lot of it, but Johnny gets the good ones, and I get to cherry pick off Johnny. We have 17 people on the Convo Couch YouTube. Welcome. We have a lot of people on the MCSC network and the Facebook. Fam, we have a good show today. We have a very important show. This is the type of show that I got no sleep for last night because when you start going down these rabbit holes about what's going on, we're going to start off talking about Jeffrey Epstein because to us, well, to me especially too as well, I don't want to speak for anybody else, it's very, very important to understand what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein. This is about the elites. This is about the controllers, the owners, the people who own us, getting crazy, getting out of control, getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And as you start going down these rabbit holes, fam, there's a lot of stuff to unveil.
And let's just point out that the mainstream media is already on their whole, let's make this about Donald Trump.
Yep.
Only.
Yep.
Let's make this about Russia.
Yep.
Now, anything you say will be used against you, and you're going to be called a conspiracy theorist, a Russian bot. So, we already know all of this. We knew this was going to happen. This is what they always resort to when they're scared.
And they are scared.
We are unraveling things because the hammer is coming down and everything's falling apart. But the thing is, this has happened so many times now that we're already on top of it. And what Pasta's going to lay out for everyone is a lot of information that is going to make you kind of feel like you're putting a tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
But really, unfortunately for us, it's actually the opposite. This is pretty blatant at this point.
Yeah.
So.
And they're going to be out there attacking you. The mainstream media, the everyday people, the establishment. They're going to be filled with all this information. They're going to start calling you a conspiracy theorist. The thing that we're hearing nowadays is like, oh, don't go down that rabbit hole. If you go down a rabbit hole, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, you're not. Going down the rabbit hole is just searching more for information that's out there to get the facts straight, to make your own opinion about what's going on. Because I'm not telling you what to believe. You got to believe for yourself what you think you have to believe. I'm going to just lay it out what I believe and why, and Fiorella is going to do the same thing, okay? But going down rabbit holes is not a conspiracy thing. It's called searching and researching information to get it right.
And we're gotten so used to not doing any research and hearing it from whatever they tell us and believing whatever they tell us and trusting the government that when you actually go down these rabbit holes and do the research, it almost makes you look like you're crazy. But that's the normal thing that you're supposed to do anyway. Yeah,
so. I mean, you're looking at two Easter bunnies over here because we go down rabbit holes. And so does Fee. I remember the time when we were talking about the Modi thing. And it first come up and I was like, I heard about this with Modi and heard about that with Modi. And Fiorella was really nice. She goes, Pasta, did you read about that or are you just repeating something somebody said? And I said, I'm just repeating something somebody said. And then we did this whole show, and I was so educated on what really went on. And there's a lot of information out there, and the mainstream media is trying to put forth their information. And they showed this week 100% that they are just part of the whole fucking elites tool to keep your mind where they want it. They want to control you. They want to own you. So they're going to produce their narratives. So let's go down the Epstein rabbit hole and start because this is all connected. Ladies and gentlemen, and it starts off with who is Jeffrey Epstein and where did he get his money from? Fam, what do you know off the bat where Jeffrey Epstein got his money from?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Really, to tell you the truth, and if you think about it, it's like the elites, the oligarchs, they clicked a button and filled his account with billions of dollars and let him do what he has to do. The mystery of where Jeffrey Epstein's fortune and how it was made. Epstein's early career is better documented, okay? He was born in 1953 and raised in Brooklyn. Epstein dropped out of Cooper Union and New York University's Current Institute. He taught calculus and physics at Manhattan's exclusive Dalton School from 1973 to 1975. And according to 2002 New York Magazine profile, his students at Dalton included the son of Bear Stearns chairman Alan Greenberg. Now, fam, it says it right here. He dropped out of two schools. How do you become a teacher without graduating from college?
I don't know, fam. Maybe back then there was something that you could do.
Oh, maybe back then. Or maybe somebody just said, okay, you can do this because the elites, they have control and they never are accountable for anything. And it's kind of funny because he went over to Bear Stearns after. And That's supposedly where he made billions, but nobody knows where it came from. We have a little video right here we're going to play right away that shows about his assets and his sneaky biz. And then we'll get into a little bit about where he set up shop and where all this arrest and all these trafficking from the women are coming from.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Could you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
So,
Wow.
can I just say this off the bat, Fiorella? Jeffrey Epstein isn't a single rogue type of guy. He was made. He was made. Everything he was doing, he was made. Look at what... Now, I know the Pizzagate people are out there. The Pedogate people are out there. Now they're trumping the horn because they see the tip of the shit iceberg starting to unravel. And the tip of the shit iceberg is going to unravel. There's going to be a lot more people named, a lot more people, talked about. There's going to be people that we know that haven't been named, that were on that plane, that were on that island, or knew what was going on. And I like to see everybody who was so cozy with the Clintons, who ran the DNC, what they got to say about this. Let's take a look at the island, fam, that this sick, twisted son of a bitch brought these girls to. Now, here's the thing. When you look at this, this is one part of this big, huge island. This is a drone footage. But you see this thing over there with the arrows out, fam? There's this temple or this ritual place. It's kind of creepy. And it kind of gives weight to those people in the Pizza and Petergate people who are saying these are cultish type of things. This is an actual island here. But I can't explain it. You tell me what you think this is as we get closer to this thing. He'll zoom into it right now. You'll see it right there on the top over there. Does he get a little closer or no? He gets closer right now with the drone. All right, so you can see a flag. There's a house. It's over the water. He owns a lot of these islands that are next to each other over here too as well. But you see this, fam? What is that? What is that?
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like a temple.
Is that an observatory? Is that a temple? Everybody out there on the intranet.
We're not making this up. This thing is real. You guys can go find it yourself. It's just really freaking weird. It looks like something out of a movie.
Look at that thing.
Honestly, this is why people go down rabbit holes and start calling Illuminati and all. What's the other place where they go? The presidents all go and it's in a forest and they're all naked.
I don't know.
What I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. It's all that stuff's been talked about.
But
yeah.
no, but everybody dismisses it because what are you supposed to do with that information? We don't know what's going on.
Okay, New York Casey said on the MCSC network, and this is true, the CIA uses cults to blackmail people, and that's what I'm saying. They have Bill Clinton and all these other people, and there were some serious people on that Lolita Express. There are women who have been confessing, they were ages 13, 14, and 15, that Jeffrey Epstein and all these people and that madam, Mrs. Maxwell, that you saw in that last video. Could we go to the picture of where Mrs. Maxwell is at? Didn't she attend a wedding? I know we're jumping ahead, but I think it just goes nicely with this. Who's that? Fiorella found this picture. Who's that at Chelsea Clinton's wedding?
That is Miss the Madam. She's right there in the red. What's
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
That's her.
And
right there.
Bill.
It's all one group, fam. It's a big club, and we ain't in it.
I don't want to be part of their club.
No, we ain't in it.
I don't
okay.
want to be part of that.
So when did all this stuff start happening, Johnny? Johnny, you have a little bit of a timeline. We can talk about this, and this also it supports the fact that this guy's been protected for a long time, and we're going to get into that. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. So I see a couple comments on the YouTube that said that this is old news, and you're actually absolutely right. This is definitely old news. This case started in 2005. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the... Where is it?
It's old news, but people they completely pushed it under the table.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Every single time shit was disappearing, it was going around, it was scrubbed. So here's for the early Epstein years. And he's going to talk about in 2005, Johnny. What do you got?
In 2005, this started. He started looking for girls around his Palm Beach house, his mansion, and that's when shit popped off because one of the girls came to the police.
Yep.
And basically 2006, 2007 was legal shit. 2008, you can look through this. Just look up timeline. Miami Herald. Miami Herald actually did great investigating journalism on this.
Yes, they did.
In 2008. 2009, he gets sentenced.
You have it right here.
Yes. He has to register as a sex offender, is on probation for a year. There were records of him when he was in jail that he would come in and out. He was put in a...
Jim DeFeeti put it up there. He was able to come and go as he pleased. 6 days a week. He would just check in once a week at this place sometimes and then just check back out. He didn't have to do anything. It was just a come and go as you please. Now, we were saying that a lot of people were bought off, right, John?
Yes.
We were saying that, but then we look a little bit deeper. And thanks to, we have a comment up, somebody put there, right? Should we talk about the logs first, or what do you think we should talk about?
Yeah, in 2010, they got these flight logs.
Yes.
And, but in 2015, it wasn't released publicly until Gawker, this site that... doesn't exist anymore. They got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
They put it out in 2015, and they actually published them. So if you look at the flight logs, here they are.
How many times did we let's see Bill's name.
Let's see. Let's find Mr. Bill Clinton.
Oh, there's Bill.
There's Bill. Boom.
Bill Clinton.
2002, the 9th of February. And then, let's see, scroll down again. Bill Clinton.
Boom.
Four Secret Service, 2 males, 1 female. January 9th, again. All these initials you see, J.E. That's Jeffrey Epstein. GM is Justice Salt Maxwell.
Yep.
I don't know who S.K. is, and I don't know who A.P. is. So, but yeah, you'll find Bill Clinton's name here
a lot.
And the mainstream media is only claiming he was there 6 times.
Well, yeah, that's what he said 4, and then they took down the Wikipedia. Because do we have the Wikipedia up? Or do we? Are we?
No. Well.
All right, with that, you have that one. Put that up there. Look at this one. It says former President Bill Clinton was much more of a frequent flyer on the registered sex offender infamous jet than previously reported, with flight logs showing the former president taking at least 26 trips aboard the Lolita Express, even apparently ditching the Secret Service detail for at least 5 of the flights. I mean, and we have all the logs. We have to prove it. We know that Trump was on that plane at least once. Once. Bill Clinton, we know he was on it 26 times, but you know what happened? You know what the fucking fascists did, fam, in Wikipedia? They took Bill Clinton out of there and left Trump in there.
And this isn't to defend Donald Trump. Again, they make it really, really easy, and they make me really pissed off when I have to sit there and be like, actually, Trump isn't as involved in this situation as they're trying to make it out to be, because it would be perfect for him to be easily involved in the situation. It would just completely go right along with their narrative.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for them, Bill Clinton is actually far more involved. And this isn't, a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is a rich people, disgusting, sociopathic people that are running, these oligarchs that are running the country and the world.
Yeah, and it's just so disgusting because they're letting the every average day people on top of it. They've gotten so greedy that we have 700,000, almost close to 700,000 people homeless on the street. Like, that's how greedy they are. They have all this crazy enriched money. They have abusing
islands.
Women, little children, left and right. And then now, and what does the mainstream media and the establishment do? They focus on one thing, Trump and Acosta. And let's go after Acosta. Let's make him the freaking scapegoat. Acosta gave this guy off the hook. No, because we go into it deeper, right?
That's what we were originally thinking.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it. We're like, okay, well, why did Acosta let it do it? Acosta got paid off. The guy at the Broward County Sheriff got paid off. Let's go to our, somebody sent us, and I'm glad they sent it. There's one of our followers, and this is what we were saying. We love our followers. Thank you so much for what you do. Because do you have a picture of everybody who was on the Lolita Express too as well?
Yes.
We're going to show you a picture of people on the Lolita Express. Alan Dershowitz, Larry Summers, all those people. I know we're jumping all around because our did it. Should we read this first?
No, let's show the people on the...
Let's show the Lolita Express. These are the people that were on it.
So
Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker. There's Larry Summers. If you don't know who Larry Summers is, ladies and gentlemen, that was the person that was...
That's great company, right?
Larry Summers was the person who was in charge of the repeal of Glass-Steagall. He was also the one to speak for the Reagan administration to say that derivatives should be legal when you could bet against the stock. So he pushed for that. And then when Obama took over, he hired Larry Summers and Tim Geithner back. That's the first sign that you're like, wait a second. Obama, what are you doing? You're hiring all these people within finance that were part of the problems, that were connected to the banks, that were connected to the Dershowitzes. And also Naomi Campbell's on that plane too as well. Here's the sick thing. Now listen, we were about to go to sleep. We were doing so much work on this. Somebody, Polara01 said, Pasta and Fiorella. Here are the connections that you need to understand regarding Jeffrey Epstein and the Labor Security Secretary Acosta. This just shows that our intelligence communities are deeply involved with low-life characters like Jeffrey Epstein. This should strike the foundation to everyone whose country to drink the Kool-Aid and believe that the propaganda that we have been fed for decades, they're all lies, and behind the scenes, these are the people who do no good, and everything, I can't barely read, I'm sorry.
They do is not in the interest of us, just the elites. Please check this video out. And so we're going to go.
Thank you for helping me out there. My eyes were squinting. I was like, nope.
Basically, this guy, the last American vagabond. He
yes.
does
I'm so glad we found this guy.
He does an incredible job at explaining the Epstein case in a deeper...
Yeah,
he does.
Shout out, what's his name?
He's the last American
vagabond.
Well, is that his real name?
I don't know who this guy is, but go check
shout
this
out
guy.
to you.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Do you want to show the thing he put up? Look at this. Alex Acosta reportedly claimed that Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. This is big, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what happened, and it's true because they questioned him about this at that last hearing he had 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? They questioned him. They said, why did you cut the sweet deal? And he was told, Alex Acosta was told, listen, I was told that he's intelligent, he's intelligence, he's above my pay grade, and to just take the deal and shut the fuck up. And when you're told that this is intelligence, that's not like saying, oh, you should consider the fact that he's intelligence and maybe cut him a deal. They're saying he's above your pay grade. Take the deal or your fucking house blows up at 5 p.m., Acosta. He was forced to take this deal. And then when the Trump administration interviewed him, he told them, he goes, I was told it's above my pay grade. He's intelligence. And a lot of people have talked before that he might be Mossad, Epstein, being Israeli intelligence. Whatever the case may be, he was told that this guy was an elite to shut up, take the deal, and that's it. But Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the mainstream media, they're trying to concentrate on this, and all this information is here, fam, and they're not mentioning it once to the people. Not once.
They don't say shit about Bill Clinton.
Nothing.
They're trying everything they can to completely alienate him, and Bill Clinton has tried everything he can to alienate himself from this, but he can't alienate himself when there's proof that he was involved. Yeah. So,
well, who ends up dead next? Is it Acosta? Is it not Acosta? Is it Epstein? Does Epstein kill himself and hang himself in the jail cell, or does Bill Clinton get whacked? You know what I'm saying?
doubt.
At what point are the elites going to be like, oh, you know what? These guys are out of control. We got to exterminate them all. Because now they're about to unravel the thing. Because what can happen with this case next is the situation, right, John?
Right.
Where can this case go from here?
And where it's at today, let's see. Earlier today, his lawyers asked if they can put him on bail, so he can leave the place he's at. He's being held in a Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan, the same high security facility where Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chief, is being held while he faces state fraud charges, and also El Chapo's there, which is interesting.
That's all fun.
Wow.
I want to go there.
His lawyers asked for a bail, and the U.S. is arguing hard to not give it to him. And prosecutors have until Friday tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, to make a decision. So we'll be back on that for tomorrow.
What do you think is going to happen? I think Epstein's going to end up dead. They're going to say he got killed by prisoners, other people in jail, because they killed him because he was a sex offender. Because, they have their own martial law in there. Like, in other words, sex offenders for children in jail are belittled. Like, you can't join a lot of shit in there. They'll kill your ass.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with anybody who's affected children. Even the criminals, the harsh criminals in there, have a fucking heart and say, if you're a sex offender for children, you're ostracized. No. So my guess is that Epstein might be end up either hung in a cell, killed, stabbed, or shanked. And this thing tries to all go away. But it's the whole system we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't one guy. This is a system. Mm-hmm. We have owners, right? Mm-hmm. And they own you. And they're playing you. And it's all tied to Seth Rich, too, as well.
Yeah, how does this tie to Seth Rich, fam?
It ties because the same people who are out there, and let me tell you something, first of all, when it comes to Seth Rich, I hate the fact that we've had this coordinated attack now from the media. Cuomo comes out, and it's the virtue signaling. How dare you question this? The New York Times, the LA Times, fam, they're almost convincing me that Seth Rich was whacked right now because they're so defensive about you even talking about it.
Yeah, and remember how you were even scared to mention it? And
I was.
And a lot of people have been scared to mention it because then it puts a stigma on you, and I'm like, no, this is all part of the same thing. This is all connected, just like everything in our politics is connected. Everything in here is connected.
Yeah,
so.
It's this. Could we play the Joe Rogan video? I think we should just play.
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean, look
who
what this
is
is Joe
a
Rogan.
real Bernie Sanders supporter, open Bernie Sanders supporter who worked for the DNC. The DNC absolutely rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders. He was aware of this. He was there while this was all going down. So was Donna Brazile. Everyone was aware of it. The guy got fucking murdered after he leaked information to WikiLeaks. If you don't think that's a little weird, what are you looking at? What delusional rose-colored glasses are you looking at your party from? You think you're in some Julia Roberts movie from 1990? This is real shit. Some guy got killed. He was 24 years old. He was a young guy who was very optimistic and had this view of the world where the guy fucking wore American flag pants and shirt. There's a famous picture of him with a beer on. He's a patriot in a lot of ways. He wanted to be involved in the political process. He was very idealistic. He was probably shattered by finding out that the party that he was working for was corrupting the democratic process. And because I've said this before, I've been accused of helping Donald Trump win by really wacky people online. By pointing out all the flaws of Hillary Clinton. Look, man, you can't ignore that shit because you want one side to win. I've talked about all of his flaws too. There's a lot of flawed human beings that run for president, pretty much all of them. It's very rare you have someone who's not flawed.
Right.
We're extremely flawed. We're all flawed, but extremely flawed who wants to be the fucking king of the world. It's very rare. Listen, man, I'm not a fucking reputable person.
That's what I try to tell
my
people.
Political ideologies. I'm just not. I'm not that well read when it comes to politics. I have my opinions on things, but when it comes to things that are rock solid and clear, like that Seth Rich was murdered and people want to ignore it, I'm like, what the fuck do you think happened? There has to be some sort of a disconnect here. When a person is giving information to WikiLeaks that exposes corruption inside the very organization that's responsible for the fucking Democratic Party, and he gets murdered, and you're like, oh, the conspiracy theories. No, he got murdered. There's no conspiracy. It was a botched robbery. Says who? Says who? Where's his? How come his wallet was there? How come his watch was there? How come they didn't take his phone? What the fuck are you talking about that I'm a conspiracy theorist when I just tell you the facts? So and this WikiLeaks thing with Julian Assange is the craziest shit ever when he said there's consequences to sharing information with us. And everybody's like, he works for Russia now. He works for Russia.
So
he was the darling of the left when Obama was in office.
So
do you
isn't
remember?
that amazing? So Julian Assange, he's just a great news guy who's tough as nails.
Who dances creepy and might have fucked some girl while she was asleep. Whatever. He can't leave. He's stuck in the Ecuador embassy forever.
By the way, that case was so fucked.
So fucked.
He's been so fucked, and it's because the CIA wants him so bad, and they control everybody. And now they're they have influence over Ecuador, and they're trying to fuck. They're trying to get a Halliburton guy to be their new. Anyway,
they might just blow up that place. The gas leak.
No doubt, right? I wouldn't be surprised if shit like that happened.
If more stuff comes out, like the Seth Rich stuff, the amount of people, and this is where I leak any conspiracy theories. The amount of people connected to the Hillary Clinton organization, to the Clinton Foundation, to Bill Clinton, the amount of people that have been iced is stunning. But some of them are bullshit and coincidental, and you know people, and they're in a weird job, and people get killed. There's a lot of people that have been killed. A lot.
Thank you, Joe Rogan, for saying that stuff. It needs to be said, and that's what the Epstein case did for me. It triggered me. Niko called. He said, Pasta, did you just speak this shit into existence? And I'm going to be honest, I was afraid to talk about this stuff.
He was.
This little lion over here said, no, Pasta, we're going to go out and talk about this. Right, Johnny? We were a little skeptical. Let's be honest. We were like, I don't know. We got to wait and stuff like that. Because the media did what they always did, fam. Article after article. And this is all within the last 3 days. Article. Can we get some of these up? The LA Times. If Russia didn't cook up the Seth Rich conspiracy, our fake news economy would have. And then this is Seth Rich conspiracy was planted by Russian intel. This is the other day. This is on the 9th. Give me another one. Don't blame the Seth Rich conspiracy on Russians. Blame Americans. I mean, Washington Post. And now look at this one here. Russian trolls planted Seth Rich conspiracy, and they talk about it. Fam, they don't want us talking about this.
They want to make it so you seem like crazy, unreliable, tinfoil wearing people that don't know what they're talking about. And that's exactly why I know there's truth to that, because they're trying so hard to make us look like we're crazy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dealt with people, especially on Facebook, that's a little bit more centrist, where people are like, oh, Joe Rogan, yeah, he's off his rocker. Oh, he's a racist. Oh, he defends racists. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about,
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no, dude, no. I can listen to people independently and make my own conclusions. I don't care if he has right-wingers on his show, because you know what? We need to talk to these people, even if they're people I loathe and I don't agree with. We can't shut people out. And when you do that, you cocoon yourself in this little hole where you're only listening to your echo chamber, and then you go on and you run for president and you lose because you completely cut everybody else off. And that's not me saying that that what's going on with the immigration issue is something to be mocked or isn't an important issue. But it is because I want to stop that issue that we need to sit and talk to each other and stop acting like just because this is something new that you can't really wrap your head around, that it's some sort of conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm just upset because now that I know that Russia is like controlling my thought process, the other day I was going to have oatmeal and instead I had Apple Jacks. Fucking Russians.
I can't believe that.
Fucking Russians. And let's talk about this real quick. Let's show this Julian Assange video, because the one man who doesn't have to retract any stories from his network, that being the WikiLeaks Foundation, Julian Assange, almost gave a heads up. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen? A lot of you people saw this, but let's play this out there when you ask the real person who gave him the information. Check it out.
Donald Trump has had a disastrous few weeks. If you look at the polls, he needs a miracle. In the American political lexicon, there's such a thing as the October surprise. The stuff that you're sitting on, is an October surprise in there? Do you even know what you're sitting on?
WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material, and often very significant risks. As a 27-year-old, works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
no, there's no finding. So
What
that's
are you
the
suggesting?
sort of.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
We don't comment on who our sources
but
are.
why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States, and that our sources are, our sources face serious risks. That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
Wow.
He pretty much told you it was Seth Rich.
Yeah. I mean,
pretty much told you it was
first of
Seth
all,
Rich.
a journalist, if their source says, I don't want to be revealed, and if it's crucial to your work that they not be revealed, you are not going to reveal your source.
Yeah.
You sit, you don't necessarily sit on the information, but you sit on the identification of your source. And that's exactly what he's doing. But in other words, he is literally saying, this is what happens. These are the stakes when we have all of this information against the government and about the government lying to all of you. And these are the measures that they will go to make sure that information doesn't get out.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to believe.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I know it's hard to let all this. It's cognitive dissonance. It's again like all this new information is coming in, and it just makes you feel powerless, and it makes you feel like, then what the hell is the point of everything?
Yeah.
If all these people
Yeah.
are psychopaths or in control of the world, so what's the point? The point is that everything is falling apart right now, and when everything falls apart, the good thing is that they lose control. Yeah. And so they are losing control, and they know it. And because of the internet and because of the communities that we are building and we have built and we will continue to build, we are putting the pieces together.
That's what Michael Cruz just said, putting the pieces together.
Wow. See, we're connected. See?
Our audience, we are so connected.
Telepathically.
I really got to say that we are connected to our audience. Today's show is really, it was scared. And you could just see me right now because I even said to Niko this morning, we had our meeting, I said, what's the sense of even doing this shit anymore? These fucking elites, these psychopaths, they're going to they don't even care. And I was also a little bit nervous, but you guys gave me also the strength with Fiorella to go ahead and talk about this stuff because you guys are out there saying the things that are on our mind. You guys are sending us the information, and we love you for it. And before we get to the super chat, I just want to point out that Chris Cuomo is a piece of shit. He is persona non grata in the Italian world. That's what I say about you. You millionaire piece of shit. You're just a voice piece of the elites. And look what this fucking douchebag said. Excuse me for cursing. Because, Chris Cuomo, you've been exposed.
4 months before the 2016 election, a 27-year-old DNC staffer is murdered on his way home from a bar. Police investigate and conclude it was a botched robbery. The young man's name, Seth Rich. You know the name, but why you know it goes to the ugliest kind of BS conspiracy spin there is. Fox was all over this, along with fringe righty sites, hollow notions that deserve no repeating here. Why did they do it? To distract from Russian interference, to tar Hillary Clinton. But now, Michael Isikoff with Yahoo News, friend of the show, reports that at the root of all of their efforts was Russia. He spoke to a former federal prosecutor who worked on the case. She says 3 days after Seth Rich was killed, Russian intelligence agents planted a phony report saying that he was gunned down by assassins working for Clinton. BS, amplified by the same troll farms that pumped out propaganda disguised as real Americans in the lead up to the election.
You got positive because
If you still believe in Russiagate conspiracy theorists, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. And I'm going to flat out say that because it is very clear that they are using this as their ammunition for anything you say, not only against the government, but it's specifically against the Democratic Party, specifically against the Clinton Foundation, which has nefarious ties to a multitude of things that we can't even begin to go into. And this is not because I dislike Hillary Clinton. This is because this is just the truth. And if I didn't laugh right then when he connected it to Russia, I would have just wanted to punch him in the face, because he's literally mocking this guy's life, and making America feel like they're idiots to even consider that this has any ties, even though logically, of course, it makes sense that he was murdered for giving information that they didn't want him to give. That makes a lot more sense than a botched robbery where they didn't take anything.
Yeah. And Chris Cuomo is worth how much? He's worth $9 million income. Salaries $2.5 million a year.
How much does he get paid per appearance?
Oh God, I think it's close to $30,000.
So why does America? Why is everyone, anybody going to believe a guy that gets paid millions of dollars over people that are sitting here doing this for free?
Yeah.
No.
He gets paid by the owners. You know who the owners are?
Highly paid anchor in CNN.
Yeah, he's the highest paid, and he sits there and says, "How dare you?"
The nerve.
For the nerve. How can you say this stuff for the family? This poor family. Let them go on.
How can he stand there and lie and pretend that this isn't a thing?
Yeah.
How dare you, Chris Cuomo, have the nerve to fucking say that about someone?
Just we have a super chat from Brandon Schaefer, I can't even say it.
Probably.
Schaefer.
Network.
Just want to say, it's on the MCSE network. Just want to say the show is an absolute must-watch for any progressive. Thank you so much for the work you do. Thrilled to have found you guys. We're thrilled that you found us too, Brandon. Ladies and gentlemen from the MCSE network, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Go over to our Convo Couch YouTube and help us out. Niko says it would be a good thing for us. We love our Neeks. He's going to do some follow-up stuff on this stuff. We've been talking a lot about it. It's time to start pulling the mask back. So we have owners. We know the media is trying to control you, because the media, they use the media in every single country to control public opinion. Okay, and that's what they're trying to do. Don't let them do it. It's okay for you if you believe that Seth Rich was part of doing this. Say it. Yeah. I mean, we should be questioning it. We might not know for sure, but we should question the government no matter what. And they've been trying to attack Niko. They did it in the Huffington Post about this stuff. Niko's not saying this stuff is true or not. He's saying that you should question the government no matter what. And Epstein shows it, and Seth Rich shows it. Question no matter what. I'm going to read a super chat. Let's play the little quick of George Carlin real quick, maybe. And then we'll get into the next subject, or should we go right into it?
I think we should go into it. I just want to emphasize when Julian Assange definitely nodded his head here.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
right there.
Right there. Did you see the nod?
His head.
Did you see the nod?
Yeah.
He nodded.
And the look. Like, yeah.
He's
Come
not.
on.
You're
killing me here. How much
We
more
don't
can I
What do you need? What do you need? And I'm saying, but you're gonna listen to Chris Cuomo, who says none of that BS over here. It's terrible. I look forward to taking your job, asshole, when they throw all of you mainstream media puppets,
should be in jail.
lapdogs out of there. You guys should be in fucking jail for extending their propaganda. It says Giovanna Liviana says Russia was not the root of the story. Julian Assange let a hint slip during an interview. The MSM is still trying to cover for Hillary, and we showed that hint right there, that slip right there. I'm sorry, I'm a little worked up and emotional. I usually like reading stuff, but right now it's like I really do feel overwhelmed with a lot of the shit that's going on, because it's a different time. Remember, you couldn't talk about AIPAC 3 years ago because Ilhan Omar says some stuff. Now we're openly talking and say, wait a second, AIPAC is full of shit. You know, those of us who knew, but we would not say it in the public sphere because we were looked at as conspiracy theorists or anti-Semitic. That's what this stuff is going on, and you people out there have given us the strength to do that. Fee, I know you got to get on to some other stuff. I'm sorry if I took so long.
No,
it's a very serious subject.
We ran out of time, so I'm just going to mention it quickly. I want to know what you guys think about Kamala and AOC's thing, because I was kind of disturbed, and I know Niko was too. Niko's pissed. So Kamala Harris goes on Twitter and says, too many people come out of the criminal justice system only to face additional barriers to transitioning back into their community. Oh, Kamala, don't they? Okay, that's why I'm proud to introduce a bill today with AOC to ensure people with criminal records have access to safe and affordable housing. And if you've followed me on Twitter, or if you follow me on Facebook, or if you know anything about me, you know that I've been exposing and releasing information on Kamala Harris that a lot of people didn't even know about. Some of the posts have gone viral, and a lot of people are like, holy crap, I didn't even know all this, and etc. Because she's literally the person who put people in jail, specifically people of color, specifically for misdemeanors and minor crimes like smoking marijuana or having marijuana for truancy. She has a horrible record as an attorney general and a horrible record as a prosecutor.
She's
so
a horrible
for her
human being in my mind.
To come on her high horse and act like, yes, we have to help reform the criminal justice system all of a sudden while she's running for president after the debates where she politically manipulated the whole Biden situation to catapult herself, okay? And then, of course, for AOC to completely help elevate her and say the war on drugs has gone far beyond our criminal justice system. It sure has. It's also evolved into a poverty trap for impacted families, which Kamala Harris helped put in jail. She said, today, I'm proud to work with Kamala Harris to undo the one strike rule that take housing opportunities away from communities caught in the war on drugs.
The strike rule, Kamala Harris, wasn't you for 3 strikes?
Yeah, exactly. Kamala Harris was for I'm sorry. If you're going to be in politics, you need to be aware of who you are elevating. And I understand that she's trying to work with all kinds of people. First of all, I helped organize an event for AOC and raise money for her. So nobody's going to come at me and tell me that I'm just bashing AOC. I'm criticizing this because I think it's dangerous to do this because we're in an election and Bernie Sanders needs all the help. And she doesn't even mention Tulsi Gabbard. She used to mention her. And she hasn't mentioned her in forever. And so now she's over here elevating Kamala Harris. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's working with Kamala. She's working with Warren. She's working with Bernie. She's even working with Ted Cruz. And I'm all for that. Dude, if you're going to work with people to get things accomplished, I'm all for that. But you have to understand optics. You have to understand how this makes Kamala look.
Yeah.
In the eyes of people after she already had a great debate where a lot of people didn't know all the stuff that she actually did, and she lied out of her teeth.
Yeah.
And this isn't something that you do without at least saying, oh, well, Senator Kamala Harris has had issues in the progressive community, but, I'm glad to be working with her. No, there was no mention of that. And lately, she's just been criticizing the GOP and just doing that. And I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Not everybody is. She's losing a lot of people, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's going to turn around and she's just doing this to play the game and she's going to turn around and do the right thing. But I'm getting flashbacks to Elizabeth Warren when everyone was like, yeah, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She's going to endorse Bernie. She's going to do this. And she's such a powerful voice that whoever she's choosing to endorse or choosing to push is going to either has a lot more chances to win because of her. And I just feel like that was a really bad take. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is because Kamala Harris is the last person that should be catapulted as a defender of people, to keep people in jail, as a great worker for the criminal justice reform. She's literally the last person besides Biden, maybe, that you might want to defend.
And we talk about the show today, we talk about the elites and how they control a lot of things. They control a lot of their politicians. Somebody said on the MCSC network, the CIA constantly puts these politicians in positions where they can control them and blackball, mail them all the time. Yeah. Kamala Harris is one of those people. She was chosen. She can be controlled. That woman is a psycho, lying megalomaniac. And here's the thing too. We didn't talk much about, me, you and Niko were talking about the whole thing this morning about, the Tulsi Gabbard talking about, Joe Biden isn't racist to go after. She got in Kamala's head again. Can you imagine if they put these two women on the stage at the same time? If I'm Kamala Harris, I'm shaking in my boots because here's someone, she's coming right after you. Like I said, she was playing the rope-a-dope in the first one. This one, she's playing the straight-up Clubber Lang. Like, I'm coming after you, fool. She's getting the fist. It's like, I'm coming after you. So, I mean...
Another thing, Tulsi has a marijuana, the bill where it's just going to decriminalize it completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Why aren't we supporting that?
Yeah.
Where is the support for that? I remember she signed off to the Off Fossil Fuels Act initially, But then there's just been no more. A lot of people did, and now it's just been no more. So I'm just kind of like, come on, like I get you. You're trying to defend us from the GOP, but really, and I love your calling out Nancy Pelosi, but let's be clear here that Kamala Harris is the last person you want to be elevating right now. She is a threat to Bernie Sanders. She's a threat to progressives. She's a complete threat to people like Tulsi. And I hope, and I know that Tulsi is the one that can call Kamala Harris out, being a woman of color, which is something that the media and a lot of people love to ignore. Tulsi is a woman of color. And she gets smeared all the time, and nobody ever says, oh, well, she's a woman of color. No, that only applies to the Democratic Party when they can benefit from it. So let's remember that next time before we start smearing her or calling her a racist. She's a woman of color.
Yeah. And Hinduphobia is alive and well in this country. I think we should end on that, fam. You got to go to school stuff.
Yes.
We got some stuff coming up. We want to thank you all who just recently joined our Patreon. We've had a great influx over there, and I've been trying to reach out to everybody. We've been putting up some stuff. I am using my cooking skills. I'm actually going to have some people over tomorrow. I'm going to make a bolognese, and I'll probably have that up there on Sunday. I did an arrabbiata. Fiorella.
I have to cook for pasta, but
she has to still cook for me, but she also did release a video on our Patreon.
I did.
So if you want to get personal with Fee, go on over to the Patreon. I think you're having a glass of wine, aren't you, in the video?
I was having a glass of wine.
So you can talk a little bit with Fiorella. And anything you give us really, really helps us out. We do have the debates coming up at the end of the month, and we're going to have to do something there. We don't know what we're going to do just yet. We're in the works. Johnny Sue, you got anything before I bring us out and do a little shout out?
Yeah, I just got a little email. It says Tulsi's 3,000 donors away from the goal.
Yep.
If you have not donated to Tulsi yet, donate to Tulsi. Donate to Mike Gravel.
Mike Gravel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-endorsements, fam, do you have that up on the Twitter? Some Penny said if you can put it up on the Twitter.
I have
she
it.
has it up on our Twitter, our Convo Couch Twitter.
I have it here. Jonathan, if you can just put it up quickly.
Yeah.
I have that.
We'll also have this up on the tweet.
I wanted to talk about this more in length, but this is amazing what Bernie did, and it frankly scares me.
Yeah.
Because he's literally putting like a target on his back right now by doing this. All of these men that he puts up, the anti-endorsement, it's honestly on the doc. Johnny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, just know these names: Haim Saban.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the only person.
Haim Saban.
I think he's Jewish.
Yeah, he is. I didn't know Haim's got connections to George Soros and stuff.
Kenneth Langoni.
Yeah.
And then this one is
co-founder of Home Depot.
Yeah, this motherfucker. Andy Putster, the CEO of Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
I'm not eating that Carl's Jr.
that shit ever again, even with the vegan burger.
Fuck
Lowell
you.
McAdam.
Asshole.
Verizon. They're all horrible.
I'm going to
Jamie
T-Mobile.
Dimon.
JP Morgan.
Bob Iger. Disney. This is why I got mad about the whole Disney situation. Like, what good does it do to people of color if this guy is still paying starvation wages to his workers? And then we have Jeffrey Immelt is another one. General Electric. Oh my God, that guy did so much.
Lloyd Blankfein.
He was the billionaire after the investment bank that got the bailout. Of course. Oh, and they're coming after Pasa's taxes and our taxes.
They did.
But Alan Greenspan.
Yeah.
I remember learning about him in high school, and I was like, this is all bullshit. Like, this doesn't
Do you remember
make any sense.
Do you remember do you know who Alan Greenspan's wife is?
Third way. No.
Alan Greenspan's wife is, what's her name from MSNBC? The little small blonde girl. When she was attacking Bernie in the first one. I was like, why is she attacking Bernie? And it was like, oh, it's Alan Greenspan's wife. I forgot. She's an anchor over on MSNBC. A very well-known one. I just haven't seen her a lot lately.
So guys, take a look at that whole list because it's important that you know.
And we'll repost it back up on our Twitter, fam. Can we do that for our peeps out there?
Yeah, you can post it on the Convo Couch.
We'll post it up on the Convo Couch Twitter to make sure it's there. I want to say some hi to Steve Wilbrant. Are you seeing Steve Wilbrant and giving him a shirt this weekend?
Yes, Sunday.
Size large, I think, but if it's different, let us know. Mikey Yu, I love you. You're on our Facebook. You got to get on over there. Mikey Yu will be coming out tomorrow with Carl Hines. I'm going to be making them bolognese, maybe an appearance by Danny Garcia. It's the boys' night. We're going to have good fun while fam is at work. But thank you for joining on in. Stephen Wells, this is over on our Facebook. We love you guys. Gilbert Flora is always there. Don Mercel. You guys are the best. Chris David. Let's go over to our Convo Couch YouTube. We had 90 watchers consistently. I can't thank you guys enough. Join our Patreon. See our food. See Fiorella. If you join the $27 thing, we'll send you a shirt if you're on for Andrea Mitchell. Thank you. Andrea Mitchell is married to Grant Allen. I love our audience. Andrea Mitchell was
Smart
going after
audience.
Bernie. I was like, why is Andrea Mitchell going after Bernie?
Oh,
and even still after she went after him, less than a week later, she fell down. And Bernie Sanders went running over there and remember to pick her up. He was like, clear the room. Like, he was such a gentleman. It's one of the things I love about Bernie. On our Convo Couch YouTube, Dana Fairbanks, Edwin Medina, Mike Walker, Michael Cruz. I love you guys. He says, we love you guys. I love you, Michael Cruz. Michael Cruz has been using the WAR caps, the Warren Warren. Everybody needs to do that. You make the Warren Warren. Listen, Elizabeth Warren doesn't know shit about foreign policy, and she was flip-flopping on Venezuela. She's terrible. PDD, we love you. M. Rude, Ed Moran, Tim Dukes. You guys are just great.
Thank you guys
Old
so
gringo.
much for everything. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
gotta go.
She's got to go on the MCIC network. Edward Klein, Max Fire. For Convo Couch, I'm Pasta Jardula, Johnny Tsunami.
And Fiorella, Convo out.
She's got to go to work. Join our Patreon. We love you.
Peace.